In terms of the legal due diligence, we're looking at the property's title. We have a centralized national registry system where you can check on any property's title at any given time. And that's going to tell us many things. Who owns it, where is it located, how much does it measure? But very importantly, it's also going to tell us if the property has liens and encumbrances. I always like to do a traffic light analogy because there are red light items, green light items, and yellow light items. So what's a green light item? For example, if your property is accessed through an easement, we want to make sure the easement's duly recorded. That's a green light. It's something you actually want to be on the property's title. What's a yellow light? A mortgage. The property has a mortgage, but that mortgage can be paid off prior to or at closing. So it's not a deal breaker, but we want to make sure we spot the issue and take care of it prior to closing. And what's a red light? Litigation. Now, we don't just look at the property's title today. We look at the property's history. We have a 10-year statute of limitations. So we're going to look back to when the title was originally recorded, paying special attention to the last 10 years. So even if the title is free and clear today, if something relevant has occurred over the course of the last few years, we're going to be asking questions. The property also needs to have a matching survey. In other words, there needs to be a graphic representation of the property's title that matches what's being offered to you. And then we're going to go to different government agencies to make sure the property has access to utilities, mainly water, power, and in some cases, fiber optic. We're also going to be looking to make sure the property is not located within an environmentally protected area, and then other compliance requirements. The municipality is probably the most relevant agent after the title. The municipality is going to tell us three things. One is the property current in the payment of real estate and municipal taxes? Two is, what's the use permitted for that specific property? What are the setbacks? What's the maximum footprint? Are there any road alignment issues that you need to look at? And then if there are any improvements on the property, do they have permits? And do those permits match with the existing construction? That's basically from a legal perspective. From a technical perspective, the must-do is a topographic study. The topographic study will tell you if what you're getting on paper is consistent with what you're getting in reality. Are the boundaries properly marked? Is the easement existent? Are there any, what I like to call, water bodies around your property that may have an impact on what you can and cannot do? Is there a river? Is there a river? Is there a water spring? Is there a well? And if so, what setbacks do those generate in terms of what you can do? And then, of course, if you have construction, you'll want to conduct a home inspection. And for the home inspection, going back to the traffic light analogy, green light issues, yellow, and red. What happens if you have green? Of course, it means you're going to go ahead. Everything's well. What happens if it's yellow? If it's yellow, three things can happen. You can either delay the closing while the items are getting fixed. You can either ask for a holdback and say, I'm going to keep this money in escrow while you, seller, fix it. And then if you don't fix it within a certain period of time, I'll get that money so I can fix it. And then, of course, there's always the alternative to negotiate a discount. Okay. And then red light is there's something terribly wrong, typically structural, electrical, you call it, you name it, I'm sorry, and that would more likely than not kill the deal.